All right, Pete, so you started the UMHB program from scratch in 1998. Now, would you ever attempt that again? And what advice would you give to another coach that might be trying to do that?
Don't do it. No, it was an incredible experience. They housed me in a little temporary building. We had no fields, no field house, no dressing rooms, no nothing, no uniforms, no coaches, nothing. So they actually hired me in 1997 and allowed me to get out. And the thing that was in Texas, Division III was kind of in its infancy. Now, when you go up in the Northeast, Division III schools are everywhere. So I made a plan to try to get within a 75-mile radius of Belton and tell our story. We felt like that 100 guys would be kind of a break-even for the program. We had 217 guys show up that first year. It was just crazy. And the thing is that football is so big part of Texas, and the passion to play still remains. The guys might be an inch shorter or a step slower than guys that go on to make big, to play in big schools, but they have a passion for the game, and it was a tremendous joy. I still love every minute of what I do.
Speak a little bit about what you think the typical UMHB football player is.
What he does?
What he does, who he is, what he stands for?
Well, you know, the thing that we always try to deal with, and I think that every coach in the world talks about team chemistry, and the thing that we try to do is recruit guys that really have those intangible qualities that you want to see guys have. We want them to be good teammates. We want them to care about getting a college education, but they also have a tremendous passion for the game that they love. It's a real honor to coach and to deal with those kinds of kids, because they come, I mean, they don't get anything. They don't get anything that a regular student at the school would get any more than those regular students. But they invest the same amount of times that we expect our guys. When I coached at Baylor and at LSU, the expectations are still the same. So they have to compete in the classroom and compete on the field. We have study halls for them. So, you know, again, I just think that graduating and finishing at Mary Hardin Baylor makes a guy, having endured and played football and managed his time, managed his money, and doing all those things. They make great husbands. They make great community leaders. They just it's been a joy for me.
Awesome. So you spent many years under Grant Taft, speaking of Baylor. Talk about a little bit about his influence on you as a coach.
Well, everything I do is kind of what I learned under him. You know, when I will always remember when we would bring guys in from recruits, that he spent a lot of time wanting to know what kind of person the guy was. And Grant was amazing at getting guys that had great character, the same thing that we do now. The thing that always stuck with me was that regardless of how big the games were, we always stayed the same. He was a big stickler about going home after practice. He wanted us to be with our families and our children and make sure that we got a chance to spend time with them. So regardless of how big the game was, we always managed to do the same thing. And he was even keel, was a great leader, and did everything with great integrity. And that's probably the best thing that I could say about Coach Taft.
Great. Thank you so much, Pete.